But she didn't want the. It seems from like what these reports are saying of and what she spoke in the documentary. I'm trying to find the exact correct quote, but she didn't want the incident to be overshadowed by the relationship the two had when they had hooked up because she had thought that it would be taken further than what it actually was.
What?
Does that make sense?
No, none of it makes sense.
It's the Pop Report. So juicy.
Hey, Miss Ma'am.
What's up?
You know, World Series shit.
Life.
Trees burning.
Yeah. Downtown was on fire last night. Literally on fire last night.
Not once, not twice, but quite a few times, if you must admit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do to watch the World Series? I saw besides you posting 10 plus Instagram frames, what did you do?
I was drinking and rooting for the Dodgers, and I was watching, and I was very invested. And I thought that the Yankees were going to win, and it was looking like the Yankees were going to win, and I was getting so fired up, and I was like, oh, I guess the Yankees are going to win this one. I'm going to take a nap, and I'll wake up when you know, the Yankees win this game. And then I took a nap, and the next thing you know, I was woken up to fireworks going off, and I was like, what happened? And I realized I missed the end of the game. But Dodgers won, and that's the important thing.
You went from like hammering, what the fuck, all this shit, and then you fell asleep.
Well, because I was like, oh, they're up by 5, and then we caught up, and then it was 5-5, and then it was getting hot, and then it was 5-6, and they were up again, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a 5-minute nap, and I closed my eyes for like 5 minutes, and then the game
Disappointment.
ended. Yeah.
Disappointment.
And we won.
There I was at a fucking kombucha bar for my group fitness class, and that's where I watched the game from. Oh. Yes. Everyone else is like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching the game. As Luigi. Dressed as Luigi, I'm watching the game.
Yeah, you were dressed up for Halloween.
Yeah. Our group fitness class decided to be festive and try to dress up for our time together. So there I was, Luigi, and my boyfriend was supposed to be Mario, so there I was fucking Luigi by myself.
Why?
But someone walked in, they were... What?
What happened to Mario?
Mario said, time out, it's Luigi's mansion, but fucking Yoshi showed up, and I was like, this works. And then there was a Bowser, and I was like, this kind of fits. I think we all kind of collectively came together without discussing it. So I was like, I'm not mad. But did I want to drink some hard kombucha and watch the game? No, I got a burger from next door, and I came back to the hard kombucha bar.
That sounds so good, a burger.
But my fucking tooth hurts so bad.
Why does your tooth hurt from eating a burger?
I went to the dentist yesterday for the first time in like a year and a half. Right. I've been in between dentists. Mm-hmm. It's a whole time when you're shopping for a new dentist, one that you like, being in your mouth. So I went to a new dentist. I do have a cavity right by my gums. So she's like, you must be in a lot of pain. I'm like, hell yeah, fucking right, bitch, I am. So stop poking it. Like, So my mouth was on fire last night. Today it's a little better, but I'm just like, unwell. I remember her sitting in the chair with me and she's like, your teeth are so beautiful. You have such great teeth. Wow, they're so white. Wow, they're so pretty. They're so perfect. I'm like, bitch, then why the fuck are you scraping away at them right now?
Oh, so, it was the old school ones? Those are the worst, where they scrape
what do you mean the
your
old
teeth?
School?
They scrape your teeth.
Yeah.
No, I like the new modern ones where they use the water pressure thing.
And the water pick?
Yeah, no, they have one that it's like, they do it and then it like cleans your teeth with the water. And they very rarely do the little scrapey thing unless they really have to. But I remember one time there was one dentist that I had and she was in Pasadena and she did only the water thingy and didn't really need to do too much with the scrapey thingy. And then I had another dentist, which actually was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and he was the homeless, not toothless dentist. And his whole dentist office was like not modern at all. And when they were cleaning my teeth, it was only the scrapey thing, and I hated that one. But my new dentist I really like.
I was tag teamed by two dental practitioners going into my mouth. One girl with the scraper, one girl with the water, and they were like, spit, and I just see globs of blood just coming up, and I'm like, I have a tartar problem, just so you know. They're like, makes sense. Wow. But happy World Series Day, happy post-Halloween. By the time y'all are listening to this, get fucking ready, because Mariah Carey's coming in hot.
Yeah. Well, we have to make it through the election first, and then I feel like we're officially into the holiday season.
Oh my God. too much going on with the election. And we don't obviously talk politics in this because there's a lot of things that people have commented already about politics and they say we talk too much. But there's also a lot of entertainment stories and those take the main focus. So, like,
what's in our hot and headlines?
I mean, is it really hot anymore or is it like a flapjack? Like, our Dodgers won the game. So that's I feel like our hottest thing besides the burning Metro bus outside your window.
Yeah. People need,
Yeah.
that's my rant of the week. Or what is it? The random thought of the week. People
Yeah.
need to stop burning shit down. Like, it's fun. We can celebrate. Like, just enough already. Okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
all of downtown is boarded up and it's gated up and we're ready. So that they already, like, they looted the Nike store and they looted the Foot Locker store, which I don't understand why tennis shoes are such a priority right now. But like, can we just not burn things and like not set, like, let's not get crazy. Okay. And I'm pretty sure next week's going to be even worse when the election is done. But like, can we just please try to like not be crazy?
Girl, so confusing. Bitch, I don't know. Like, I don't know why everyone feels the need to burn things after we win.
I was
like,
why did we burn the tree? Like, what did the tree do to anybody?
the tree started it. It was here
a
before
lovely
us.
Tree. I mean,
It picked a side.
Look at, you want to see the tree on fire? Did you see it on my?
Oh, I saw the tree on fire. I saw it on your Instagram story. I've seen it all throughout. But I think that when it comes to the World Series, like, I overheard as well that if they play longer in the World Series, the more money they make. I think it would have been a lot more, let's call it like climactic. Let's call it like, maybe there would have been some more burning if the Dodgers won here in LA. That would have been like,
Yes. That's what me and my neighbors here in downtown were talking about. We're like, as long as they don't win while we're in LA, because then I feel like it'll be a lot worse. Like, let them go win in New York and let that be, like, winning in LA would just, I feel like it would have made it a lot worse.
Yeah, I thought honestly they're going to throw in the towel being like, we're going to win in LA, bitch. Like, let's do this. Let's do this at home. But wild, here we are, and all we get is a fucking parade in the end. I'd like a better economy in LA, but that's my thought.
Well, that's why we got to vote.
Build us a metro station at Dodger Stadium. Maybe I'll go more often.
They have a Dodger line.
It's not to the Dodger Stadium. It's not below the stadium. It's literally below the stadium. You walk past Chinatown. You walk through some shit. You go places that are not near the actual Dodger Stadium.
So how do you get to Dodger Stadium?
Girl, you walk. You take the station and you walk far. Yeah. So the more you know. I've had to call Ubers from Chinatown in Los Angeles, and it's kind of scary. As a man, scary. As a girl, I pray for you, woman. I pray for you. So that's our Hot in the Headline. I hope you enjoyed it. If you obviously haven't subscribed, tell them, Zach, what they do, what they missing out on.
Hit that subscribe button. That way you get all new episodes as soon as they drop it like it's hot. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube. You can subscribe on Apple. You can subscribe on Spotify. And if you're listening or watching on Spotify, definitely leave us a rating and definitely leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, because we love the reviews and they keep us strong. They keep us on those charts. So keep them
I love how you say the YouTube.
The YouTube, the tickety talk, all the things.
I mean, it's like when people say, like, I do YouTube. I'm like, hello? It's me. Here's a review that also just came in. We do read some reviews and comments. This one's from Pamela, son of a bat. Ooh, catchy. Some actually praise. Okay, cool. She said, love you guys, 5 stars. I enjoy the banter between Zack and Andy so much. I also watch No Filter with Zack as often as I can. Oh, look, someone pays attention to you. The honesty and no holds barred humor make my day. Thank you guys for bringing a little laughter and a little sunshine to my world. Good for her.
Oh, thank you,
I'd like a little sunshine in my world.
Pamela.
But, well, obviously, y'all want to do. And if you have a story that you'd love to comment on, you should leave us a DM online, and we'll probably give you a little thought on your remarks if it's any story that we have or have not covered. So, Zach, would you like to lead us into our music news?
Yeah, Shawn Mendes is still gay.
Girl.
And he's BFFs with Camila Cabello.
The way that you and the online community have responded to the comments from the previous episode saying, girls, he won't pick you regardless. And I'm like, ask Zack.
No, it's true. He's gay.
Yeah. I'm just here being like, girl's so confusing. He's figuring it out. Let him do his thing. But I'm like, I don't need to know this about the news.
He's figured it out already. He just hasn't come. It's like, you're straight, and then you're bi for a minute, and then you realize.
I did that.
Yeah, that's my point. You're straight, and then you're bi for like a little bit because you're like, oh, I think I'm into both, and then you end up just coming out of the closet.
Oh my God, Zack, what do you think they should do if they love what they're listening to?
They should subscribe. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below for all the latest celebrity news.
And if you're listening anywhere else, leave a review. Or don't.
Or do.
Or do.
Do.
Well, I think I honestly was still a little confused at the time when I came out as bi, but I was like, maybe it'll lessen the blow for my family.
Mm-hmm.
No. Mm-mm. No.
Not
like,
a little
I
bit.
think it just made it more complicated. They're like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't even know what I mean, so I can't even do this. But as of late, he is now saying that Camila Cabello is still someone he would call in an emergency. So
like your best
in
girlfriend.
this, sure. They dated for more than 2 years. They split up in 2021, and they reunited last year. But in an interview with the New York Times, he opened up about the state of his relationship with Cabello. And he said that she is still one of his closest friends. He is 26, she is 27. I forget they're younger than us, But he stated that they're, quote, against each other in a weird way. It's not true, like this quote that's been going around. And it bugs him that, they just, parted ways. But he also said in the interview, I have nerves just even speaking about it, just what people would say when, they talk about like his relationships and more. He also went on to add saying, quote, but honestly, if something was to happen to my family and if something was to happen to me, she'd probably be the first person I call to this day.
Great.
I mean, I hope in some way if you split amicably, like you have that.
I'm sure if you were ever in an emergency, the first person you would call is your ex.
I mean, if it ended, like, I had one of my exes come to my birthday. Fine. Tall white dude. Exactly. But on Call Her Daddy, Camila Cabello addressed the short-lived reconciliation in her March episode. She said, quote, it took us both less time to be like, this doesn't feel right. We don't need to try so hard to make it all work. She said at the time, it's all good.
Yeah.
Stop.
I mean, come on.
I think sometimes these people just say, look, you got a busy fucking schedule, and so do I. Or they're like, I don't want to live in the same place that you do, so like, let's just call it like done. It's hard to like go out together. You have to think of the PR machines and teams behind these couples, and they're put together.
You think the reason they didn't work out together is because they had scheduling conflicts? No, they had insertion conflicts.
Okay, well, there are people.
She didn't want to wear the strap on, and he was like, well, this isn't going to work.
Back in the day, publicists and teams would place couples together to get more press.
Correct.
And so after that, they would somehow at times develop a real true relationship.
Correct.
But I'm not sure about this one with like the notoriety of the two of them. It was maybe something in a conspiracy theory I've read that they were placed together, and after it's run its course and it's not doing them great anymore, that they just called it off.
I believe that. And then they tried to reconcile, and it didn't work because a lot of the times they stage these relationships for publicity because usually the guy is gay and they need a beard.
I think it was more so Camila needed help because she was in Fifth Harmony and she was the first breakout star and she needed to establish herself as a personality still. Shawn Mendes also was not a part of a larger group of businesses and other partners of artists. So like you don't hear about longtime collaborators. You don't hear about his relationships with other artists. So I think that they, from what I've seen in conspiracy theories, they were placed together. Yeah. And after that wore out and people were more thinking of, is Shawn and his sexuality what it is? Camila Cabello is what it is. They both, like, in this publicity relationship, people have said it ran its course and it's now negative of them being together.
Because he's gay.
Girl, I'm moving on to the next thing. Well, that's our first music mayhem
What's
spot.
going on with Megan Thee Stallion?
Did you see her documentary just released?
No. I mean, I saw it released, but I had no interest in watching it.
Okay. All right. So this new documentary, titled In Her Words, is on Amazon Prime. And there's a couple things that Megan has had ups and downs about the past few years. She was shot by Tory Lanez, sorry. And that has been ongoing for quite some time.
And didn't she bang Tory?
So here's the thing. After the incident, Megan went on with Gayle King to address things. Megan has had a lot of people try to come after her for clout, using her in lyrics like Drake and more. And in this documentary, she reflects on the interview with Gayle King. And Gayle King asked if she and Tory Lanez had a sexual relationship. And she's like, I did lie to Gayle King because I know basically that if I came truthful about it, it was shortly after the death of George Floyd. Of what? What'd you say?
Biggie.
Iggy?
Biggie.
I thought you said Iggy. I was like, Iggy's career death? I was like, that different. But
she didn't want to say that she hooked up because of George Floyd? This is his
she
fault?
she was afraid in what happens to the aftermath. So when it came to this incident, she originally said she had stepped on glass because she was afraid of the police and what would happen to her and Tory Lanez because of saying like a domestic violence incident happening of any sort with any relationship, not relationship. She went on to say that she and Tory Lanez hooked up 2 or 3 times while drunk. But she's like, that does not negate the fact that he did, in fact, shoot me. But she did lie to the police, saying she stepped on glass. She didn't want to have to deal with police. At the time, she was more afraid than anything else. But she also lied to Gayle King about the relationship of the two of them, saying, like, why you asking me about Tory? That's not what this is about. I fucked it like I'm trying to censor out this quote the best I can. She says, I fucked once or twice, maybe on a drunk night. You kept catching me out of my fucking mind. But Gayle was basically saying, like, are you more than friends? Like, what happened? And she denied it, like, at the time, saying we're not dating. We were really close. We were friends. We hung out, like, every day. She felt that, like, the two had bonded because they lost their mothers. So Megan talked about in her documentary as well the death of her mother. And there was an incident where her mom was diagnosed with having, I think it was a tumor, and she was becoming brain dead. And she had to be the person to pull the plug on her mother because her father had passed at the age of 15. And so, Gayle King's like, it sounds like your relationship has gotten like very personal. Like, did you have an intimate relationship with him? And Megan's like, I denied it at the time. Like, I didn't want to address it. I said no.
So she's a liar. That's all that's the only conclusion that we're coming to is she's a big fat liar. She lied about stepping on glass. She lied about sleeping with Tory. All she does is lie.
No.
Well, where's the truth?
That is the truth.
Is it?
But she didn't want it seems from like what these reports are saying and what she spoke in the documentary. I'm trying to find the exact correct quote, but she didn't want the incident to be overshadowed by the relationship the two had when they had hooked up because she had thought that it would be taken further than what it actually was.
What?
Does that make sense?
No, none of it makes sense. None of it makes
sense. The two of them hooked up very small times when they were drunk. And she was basically saying if she had said, they'd hooked up a few times, that would have been dragged out in the media saying she had an intimate relationship with this person when she said that she did not. She's like, regardless of how I said it, she's like, I felt like this would have been, misconstrued.
So she lied so that we didn't talk about it. Essentially, she's like, people would have talked about it if I told the truth, so I didn't tell the truth and I lied. I don't know. I'm liking her less and less after this story. Team, what is it?
Well,
Who is she up against? Nikki? Team Nikki. Or was it Cardi? She was fighting with someone, wasn't she? She was Nikki.
Nikki.
It was Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said, yeah, I lied. I thought we were going to talk about this shooting. She's like, why are you talking to me about Tory? It's not what this was about. But yeah, she didn't have a relationship with him other than hooking up.
Well, I don't know if we can even believe that.
Girl, so confusing.
We'll wait for the documentary part 2, Truth Revealed.
Truth revealed. Megan, in this article, the last thing I'll say to this, it's saying Megan then said she believed Lanez tried to, quote, deflect from the fact that he had committed a crime by telling the public they had slept together.
By telling them the truth? Andy, like, what? Am I crazy here? Like, what? This lady is crazy.
I'm just like looking at these quotes too, and it's like they're wondering how can you trust that, but like in this, Lanez's defense team was saying that the case here, this is so hard. It's so hard to construe my right words sometimes when you put on the spot, but I can understand.
Do what Megan doesn't lie.
No, girl. Megan believes that, yeah, Lanez's team and the court, basically of their defense, tried to deflect the crime had happened because they had a sexual relationship. And she's like, put the relationship aside or not. She's like, that's what I was afraid of, is
the truth.
This whole thing would be focused on we hooked up.
The truth.
But it's like you can't deflect the fact that like someone shot her, whether what relationship happened or not.
That's bullshit. She shouldn't have. Most crimes are often like when there's a dispute between two people. In a situation like this, most crimes are crimes of passion. So you do lean into it to prove your case of like this was a crime of passion. So it would make more sense that she would lean into it. I don't know. It's
like, why would you shoot then someone you care about in the foot drunkenly?
Well, why do you murder people that you care about? Why do you murder your wives? It happens all the time. That's why they're called crimes of passion. You're heated and in the moment, and you know.
It's not passionate, I'll tell you that much. But other music news is Halsey sang an executive once went through her phone without her permission and found nude photos.
Why were they going through her phone?
Halsey said that she experienced a, quote, powerful music executive going through her phone. It was on Call Her Daddy. And she said she was out with an executive who works in the music industry. And it was a celebratory meeting, and there's a lot of industry talk. And she said she didn't at first feel unsafe or weird about the interaction. But Halsey had taken a photo with the executive who asked if he could use her phone to send the image to himself with the intention of sharing it with his niece. Halsey left the area to use the bathroom, and the executive had access to the unlocked phone. And when she returned, she says this executive was scrolling through photos of her nude body on her phone that she had taken. So she said,
well, that's why you don't leave nudes on your phone and then leave your phone unlocked. Hello, you tell your friends don't scroll that high. We've all been there. If anybody wants, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I have a fear of taking nudes in general for so many reasons, but like,
I mean, I'm waiting.
I don't know where she didn't discuss where they were stored on her phone or like if they're easily accessible.
I'm pretty sure. Listen, I don't have like separate secret folders for my nudes. They're just there. That's why I don't hand when you have compromising content on your phone, you don't just hand it out.
So her quote says, did the phone scroll up? Like, what the heck happened? Did I just imagine that? She feared the executive had texted the nudes to his phone saying, quote, did he text them to himself and then delete the messages? I don't even know where these are now.
Well, that's speculation. And that's also like, you can't just assume that and say that if you have no evidence or proof of that.
But you wonder too, like if someone has access to your phone, is someone going to be sending stuff to themselves? That happened on.
So what was their interaction? How did she even know that he found the nudes on her phone? He
She
told
said she
her?
came back from the bathroom and he was having them open on her phone.
Oh, interesting.
So he went through her phone while she was in the bathroom, stumbled upon the nudes. Don't know how close they were. She's like, did he scroll up? Like, where did he find them? But yeah, like we've had incidents like this happen where people in reality shows will hand their phone to somebody and they're like, give me back my phone. I gave you permission to do this one thing. You did not get permission from me to go through my phone entirety. There's also like, if you even look at relationships of couples who are together and you break it down to accessibility and permission. I gave you permission to call someone with my phone. I did not give you permission to open my Instagram or open my Facebook app. So when it gets really granular like this, you can say, okay, like they had the phone, but it does come down to the rules and parameters set. It happened in not Real Housewives, Selling OC, where behind the scenes cast members were seen like sending photos from one person's phone to their own to get evidence and like receipts of an incident. But a lot of these too, if people do press charges like of some sort, whether it's, let's say, taking out this incident, not the best example, but you can win a lot of these based on like permissions and authorizations of you giving someone your phone.
That's a bolt. I don't know that legally. I don't agree with that. Like there has to be like they would be in relation to like revenge porn laws, and with those there has to be like intent behind it, and there has to be, you know, you have to prove that there was a lack of privacy. Like it's happening right now with like Tom Sandoval and Rachel
Right.
Leviss and their revenge porn case, and then it just came out that apparently Rachel's legal team offered Tom Sandoval they would offer to drop the lawsuit if Tom Sandoval would agree to go into a joint lawsuit against NBC. Because that's where the money's at.
God.
So then it brings down, well, then what is her motivation? Is it really to get justice if she's willing to work with Tom Sandoval to sue NBC, or is her motivation the money?
Girl, so confusing. It's also weird though, because like Apple is now in their case with new iOS updates. So like, you want Face ID to get into certain apps, you got it. We'll give it to you. For privacy, you need to have a Face ID in order to get into this specific app.
That's smart.
Yeah. And so it definitely will change, I think, as the tech and apps also go on. It's sad to hear about, obviously, like Halsey with this, because now she's
What
probably
happens
got.
if you have a twin?
I don't know. I think
Right?
your eye.
Like if you have a twin, because like think about like it kind of like reads you when you have sunglasses or like when you're looking a little rough after the gym, and like it still reads your face. But like if you have an identical twin, that's interesting. And then what happens if you have a falling out with a twin, and then they unlock your phone, and then they find your nudes, and then it's like, oh my god, call her daddy.
I think the rule for me personally has been never take a nude, and that's just where I sit.
Or just know the gamble. I know your nudes would probably end up somewhere on someone.
On someone. Well, anyway, off to the next. Well, what else are we going into, Zach?
Let's see. Are we still in music mayhem? Oh, no, that's all music mayhem. Don't you have a weird story of the week in honor of Halloween?
In honor of Halloween.
This is
Yes.
Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Everybody scream.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Cool. I thought so. Well, there's a story about a couple who last Halloween had to actually go to the emergency room to deliver their child. So with this, as my dog is doing its own thing, when it came to this story, these are real stories. These are real people. Apparently last year, a woman was so nervous before giving birth, she and her husband went to the hospital. And it was Halloween, so they went to the hospital in their costumes. Mm-hmm. So,
what were they dressed as?
Oh,
Mario and
so
Luigi?
This woman named Laura dressed up as Thor when she went to the hospital, and it was like a portrayal of lazy Thor when he gets like bigger, like his beard, like he has a lot of weight. So she's just chilling in this hospital bed with a Thor hammer and PJs and like a wig. And she's like, I think this really did ease the stress of,
Birth?
giving birth. Like she's like, it's obviously like a lot of pressure, it's a lot of stress, a lot of things going through. But she's like, you know, going through this, wearing Halloween costumes, it just lessened the stress a little bit.
Okay.
So I think that's a funny story.
That's cute.
And they joked, they're like, we could go and like have the child on Halloween, convince my husband, and then, like happened.
I'm here for it. I like this.
Wearing the costume to calm the nerves, funny as fuck. If honestly, like you come into the hospital, everyone's
pictured like a Thor lady just pushing out a baby, and good for her.
Thor pushing out a baby. Yeah, like the photos are just kind of nuts in my opinion. Like imagine being like a nurse at the hospital and you see Thor rolling up, being like, I'm ready to give birth. Today is the day.
Today's the day.
But she reposted this footage this year, and so it's a lot of people are recirculating this. But the nurses told her, like, you're famous. The first mom who pushed out a baby in 8 minutes. Like, she's like, that's Thor's power, bitch.
I love it.
So, yeah.
Well, we've got quite a bit in our watch or skip this week.
I know. There's so much not going on and going on at the same time. A live action Lego movie. Don't know who asked for that. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Dumb.
So a live action Lego movie's in the works.
Yeah, it's going to be like Chris Pratt in like a digital Lego world.
The plot details of the 3 untitled movies are yet to be revealed, but the filmmakers behind each project have been announced. All 3 films will be produced by the Lego Group's Jill Williford and Ryan Christians.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not on my bingo card. So that's our first watch or skip. I don't think I'll watch.
Nope.
I didn't watch the Pharrell doc in the Lego world, but that's what's happening. As far as other stuff, we have a cliffhanger reboot that Lily James and Pierce Brosnan are to star, and Stallone is not going to be in it. As many may know, Sylvester Stallone was in the original, but this is going to be a completely different spin. It was announced 18 months ago, but it's taking on a different turn. Yeah. And last but not least, besides the fun stuff we're about to get into, we have Gladiator 2, which is getting a special to air on CBS and Paramount Plus, with a behind-the-scenes look on how they made it. So everything that went into it, the aspects of production from the grand scope of the set, including the reconstruction of ancient Rome, combat training, costumes, historical accuracy, scoring, how they did it all. Because it's been a while since we had a Gladiator movie. That's coming to you as well. I don't think I'll watch any of them.
No, but we do have some reality shows that are coming on back.
Okay.
We have Squid Games that's returning, the competition series.
Did you watch the first one?
I did watch the first one. I was actually pretty invested in the first one. It was just crazy how they had so many people. And then the way that they edited it was like very smart. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I'm looking forward to a second season. I don't know if I'll be as invested because I feel like most of these competition shows on these streaming networks, like the first season's really good, and then after that it kind of just falls off unless you have some really like good key casting. But Squid Games,
it was a big.
Did you watch it?
It was a big phenomenon. Yeah, I watched it. It was a big phenomenon. I mean, like, we had so much that came from it, challenges and more. I went to an activation for Squid Game. Like, they did one for the general public, and then there was the reality show. Like, that was a spin-off of the actual series. So, yeah, it was previously announced that there's also going to be a third season, which will be the show's last. But can you believe it's been 3 years since the first one?
No. Well, did that come in like, that was 2021, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's Netflix all-time best, one of them up there.
Yeah. Good for Netflix.
Good for her.
Peacock's bringing some good content. We have the Simple Life reboot, the Paris and Nicole special. That is finally, we have a release date. It's going to be 3 parts, and it's going to drop on Peacock December 12th. And then we have Trader Season 3 that's returning to Peacock on January 6th with Tom Sandyballs.
Did you say Sandy Balls? I'll tell him that you called him that.
He knows.
He knows? Of all the 3, which are you most excited to see? Squid Game Season 2, which is not reality. Simple Life or Traitors.
Isn't Squid Game season 2 reality?
It's the scripted version,
Oh, it's the scripted version. Got it.
not the competition that we
Did you
saw
see
with
the
the real life.
competition?
I did not watch the competition.
I watched both the competition and the original. Of the three, I think I'm the most excited for the Traitors, but I'm also really excited for Paris and Nicole.
I would say Traitors. Yeah, it's got an interesting mix of people. It's nice to see that we have a January announcement. So expect us to see a trailer probably in the next month is my prediction. We're probably going to get some little snippets, and they're still probably cutting this in production.
Yeah.
But I like the sound of all of that.
The sound of music. Well,
obviously, if you also keep up too, let us know who you think is going to win Traitors in the DMs online. Send us a message, and we'll all put our predictions in. Oh, I think Chriselle will be a traitor.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
It would be interesting, but let us know your thoughts in the upcoming season in the DMs, and we're off to our general news.
Yes, we are. Well, since we are entering the holidays, it's the holiday season. The holiday season. A whoop-dee-doo and a tickety-tock and a da-da-da-da and da-da-da-dock. Snoop Dogg is launching his own line of Christmas gear.
What does that mean? Like camping?
No, like Christmas sweaters, all sorts of goodies if you want Snoop Diggity Dog. If you want some Snoop Dogg gear for the holidays.
When you said gear, it made it sound like camping gear.
No, like...
Why is he doing this?
To celebrate. What are you trying to take the Christ out of Christmas?
No, I'm just wondering, what was the motive? He's like, I haven't done Christmas in a minute. I have one of his cookbooks.
See, why did he write a cookbook? He's all about the
'Cause
innovation.
Martha. Okay. I see what you do there.
About the innovation. He's a businessman, and he's doing the damn thing.
Speaking of innovation, I'm not sure if you saw this, but the Mormon Wives cast husbands made their own TikTok making fun of their wives. I saw the eye roll through this, coming hard.
It's just unnecessary. So, they're doing the most now. They're doing too much now.
So I don't know if Mom Talk will survive this, but the husbands and partners of the Secret Partners of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives came together for this parody on the 31st. And it poked fun at the viral videos, with Taylor Frankie Paul, Michaela Matthews, and all the rest. But the first TikTok had the POV of it's Daddy's turn, and it showed all of the members lip syncing to the City Girl song, What We Doin'. So it was interesting to see them all together because I was like, I don't recognize you guys as much. But I was like, oh, you guys look a little different now. The second video has them reacting the viral suspect trend where a person runs while someone else calls them out for their actions.
Right.
So it's interesting overall. The first clip featured Taylor Frankie's partner Dakota, which we know that
it does. Dakota is so thirsty to be famous.
The whoever was behind the camera said suspect's new addiction is his baby mama, and he just looked at the camera. He's like, "That's true," but I thought they broke up.
No, well, they break up and then they get back. Well, nobody knows. That's why it's so annoying because they play all these games on TikTok of we're together, we're not together, we are together, we're not together. So now I'm starting to believe that the Mormon wives are now just doing things for the attention, for the clout.
That's what this article also says. His appearance with the other husband seemed to confirm that they have reconciled after the breakup rumors surfaced. Taylor previously alluded to entering, quote, a new chapter on her Instagram stories in September. And it later seemingly confirmed in October that they, I guess, worked out their differences. But it's weird. Jesse's husband, Jordan, was running, and the cameraman said, suspect only carries credit cards that says Jay-Z Styles on them. So, also interesting. One was with Whitney's husband, Connor, And this was the jugular shot. The cameraman's like, suspect was last seen on Grindr, and he's like, guys.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised they know what Grindr is, but little things. Jen Affleck's husband, Zack, was not in there, just to be clear.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause she's pretended to break up with him, but then she's pretended to get back together with him. I don't know. It's all very confusing, and I guess it's going to make us all watch the new season of Mormon Wives to figure out what's going on.
She was seen without her wedding ring in a TikTok video, but she's shut down the rumors.
The rumors about the husband.
The rumors. Yeah, they just got confirmed for a second season, so we'll see them if they show up for a podcast episode next time.
And what do we got in our couples corner?
Well, our last episode, or our last story of this episode, it's been a day and I've been chugging Celsius on the side, is about Miss Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum. Now, some people might have seen the news, some may have not.
Broken up. They're dunzos.
People think they're no longer together, and it is shocking for a lot of people. They were together for maybe 2-3 years, but they have an upcoming project called Alpha Gang, and people wonder if this could bring them back together. They're supposed to film this upcoming project in spring of this coming year. An insider told Us Weekly that it may reignite a spark between the two of them. They said, quote, film is their passion, so it could bring them back together. They allegedly ended their engagement. So this has been like an interesting week for a lot of people, just trying to understand like what happened and what's going on. But I don't personally, I have not kept up with them much. A lot of people are focused on the fact that Channing Tatum is now allegedly single again. But I don't know if work can really bring two people back together necessarily.
I think we can force them to work together, but I don't know if it's going to help their. I think if they're done and the engagement is done, then I think they may be done.
This person went on to say, quote, they thrive while being on set together and will be able to get through it. Quote, both of them are very professional. There's no bad blood between them. They've not made any comment to anything about the relationship, but they reportedly split last week and after a year of being engaged almost. They met in 2021 while working on Blink Twice, which came out in this past August, where this was Zoe's directorial debut. They are apparently both opposites, but they bonded over their relationship of art and for film, and that's what kept them together. But sources came out to say once the project ended, they realized they're on different pages on what they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Someone said, quote, it fizzled fast after their press tour wrapped, noting the wedding planning put a lot of pressure on them. Before that, she was married to Carl Glusman. They split in 2021 after less than 2 years of marriage. People have also pointed out that she is very independent and she didn't necessarily want to get married again after her split, but we don't know. We don't know. There hasn't really been much to this, but people are thinking, will they or won't they get back together?
I don't think they will get back together. I think they're done.
I don't love these like, will they want, I'm like, girl, they will say their piece at some point. And can you imagine the day that like the press gets it wrong again and they're like, actually they're still together? Like that's what I see when these stories break of like, did they post on their Instagram story that they're no longer together? Because how else do we know?
Sources.
Anonymous source says.
Anonymous sources.
Anonymous source number 4, Scream Queens. Well, that concludes another episode of the Pop Report. Zack, we're about to celebrate 50 next episode.
Yay!
Yeah, I keep saying it, and now we're finally here.
We have finally made it to 50.
I know.
big
What are we going to do? Wear some party hats?
Yeah. And cake.
Yeah.
Eat some cake.
I don't like icing. No.
Why don't you like icing? I don't really like icing.
Why don't you
either,
like
but-
women?
Why don't I what?
Like women.
I don't dislike women.
Great. Cool. We're on the same page. Well, obviously, keep up to date with more of the Pop Report online. Find us on every single podcasting streaming platform you can, and we'll check you real soon.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, oh my God, you made it this far in the episode. First of all, thank you so much. Second of all,
Subscribe.
yeah,
What are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. and
wherever you are, just do the damn thing.
Yeah, I don't care if you're on the bus, if you're on a Tinder date. Just hit the subscribe button right now. Show us some love. That way the next episode is fresh in your inbox.
And we'll see you soon.